Ever been in the relationship where you just feel lost, constantly confused, totally exhausted? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the dynamics of narcissistic relationships. We're going to break down the exact patterns that can be so damaging, but are often really hard to put your finger on.
And it all starts with this feeling, a feeling that might hit really close to home for some of you. It's that constant, draining wish for just one day of peace. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of what we're talking about. An environment where the chaos, the drama, it isn't an accident, it's manufactured.
So what is it that creates that awful feeling? That constant sense that you're walking on eggshells? Well, it all starts with a very specific state of mind. And this is the foundation for everything else we're going to cover.
Yeah, that feeling of being perpetually confused, it's not you. And it's definitely not an accident. It's the goal. It's the intended outcome of this hidden rulebook that's designed to do one thing: keep you off balance. It's meant to drain your energy and make it almost impossible to think straight or make a clear decision.
Okay, so what are these rules of the game? Let's dive in and really break down how this whole environment of confusion and exhaustion gets built, piece by piece. We're starting with the core manipulative tactics. And here it is, the number one rule of the game: a massive, exhausting double standard. It's a tale of two different sets of rules. For them, values are totally elastic. They can be stretched and bent to justify whatever they want in the moment. But for you, oh no. For you, those same values are suddenly rigid, constricted. It's like a cage they expect you to live in. So why? Why the double standard? This quote gets right to it. It's not random, not at all. It comes from this really deep-seated belief that they are just entitled to things that you aren't. And that one single idea, it's the fuel for this entire dynamic.
Now, one of the most powerful tools in this playbook is something called intermittent reinforcement. And look, this is way more than just being hot and cold. It's a very specific and incredibly effective psychological strategy of control.
So here's how it works. It's this crazy cycle, right? You get these unpredictable rewards, these little moments of charm or kindness that give you hope, that keep you hooked. And then, bam, unpredictable punishment. Sudden anger, the silent treatment, it keeps you constantly anxious. And the result of this back and forth, it's just devastating. You're left in a state of total mental exhaustion and something called cognitive dissonance. And that's just a fancy way of saying your brain is trying to hold two completely opposite ideas at the same time. This person is amazing, and this person is destroying me. And when you're stuck there, it becomes almost impossible to trust your own gut, your own reality.
And this brings us to what it actually feels like day to day. There's this incredible metaphor for it. It's like living through all 4 seasons in a single day. Let's talk about what that kind of emotional whiplash is really like.
So, one moment, it's summer, pure sunshine. You get this disarming charm, this kindness that feels so real. That's the unpredictable reward, right? It's that warmth that pulls you in and makes you think, okay, things can be good. This is what it's supposed to be like.
But then, out of absolutely nowhere, a thunderstorm hits. This inexplicable rage, usually over something tiny, something that makes no sense. And you're just left there, totally disoriented, trying to figure out what in the world just happened.
And just as fast as the storm came, it can shift into this deep winter freeze. Just cold, dismissive indifference. It makes you feel completely invisible. And it's this chilling, awful feeling. And then, just when you're lost in that cold, feeling totally alone, the sun is back out. The charm returns, as if the storm, the freeze, none of it ever happened. It's this dizzying, crazy cycle that is the source of that emotional whiplash. It's what keeps you on edge all the time.
But look, the damage here, it goes way beyond just your emotions. This dynamic systematically starts to dismantle other really important parts of your life. We're talking about your career, your finances, even the very core of who you are as a person.
And this is one of the most heartbreaking parts. It's how your best qualities, your kindness, your empathy, your generosity, are taken and twisted into weapons to be used against you.
And you can see the long-term effect right here. Someone who is naturally a giving, trusting, open person can be forced to build up this guarded, protective shell just to survive. And what's really sad is that to people on the outside, this can almost look like cruelty. But it's not. It's a survival mechanism.
Then there's the professional cost. That constant mental exhaustion, it takes a huge toll on your work. It doesn't matter how talented or experienced you are. You can end up looking less capable than a total beginner. And why is that? It's simple. All of your energy, all of your focus is being siphoned off by the chaos at home.
And financially, wow, it can be just as devastating. We're talking about everything from them just taking your money to threatening you over legal things like being a loan guarantor. You're left with this constant, horrible feeling of being indebted to the very person who is taking everything you have.
Okay, so let's zoom out and put all of these pieces together, because this is so important. These aren't just a bunch of bad days or random incidents. This is a pattern, a deliberate, interlocking pattern of control.
When you lay it all out like this, you really start to see the full picture, don't you? The elastic values, the hot and cold of intermittent reinforcement, that emotional whiplash, the exploitation. They aren't separate things. They're all cogs in the exact same machine. This is how that daily, draining feeling of confusion is created, and how it's maintained.
Look, just understanding this pattern, seeing it for what it is, that's the first and most critical step toward getting some clarity. We've just walked through how all these pieces fit together to create this really disorienting, confusing reality. So we'll leave you with this to think about. Now that you can see the pattern, what does that recognition make possible for you?